Imagine standing before three mysterious doors. Each one radiates a different energy, whispering promises, secrets, and unknown worlds beyond them. The first glows with a greenish, bioluminescent essence, almost alive, pulsating with organic, alien-like energy. The second is carved from ancient wood, entwined with twisting roots and crowned by a powerful eye that seems to look straight into your soul. The third door gleams with metallic precision, covered in circuits, wires, and futuristic patterns, like a portal from a distant cybernetic future. At first glance, these doors might seem like just artistic expressions, but in reality, they act as mirrors, reflecting parts of your subconscious that often remain hidden. Carl Jung, one of the most influential thinkers in psychology, believed that symbols, especially archetypes, speak directly to the unconscious mind. What we're drawn to isn't random, it's a reflection of who we are deep inside. In today's psychological test, you will be asked to choose one of these three doors. No right or wrong answer, just a choice. And based on that choice, we'll reveal what your unconscious mind may be trying to tell you. This test is not a fortune teller or a magic trick. It's a symbolic journey into your inner world based on Jungian psychology and the theory of archetypes. So, take a moment, look at the three doors in front of you. Which one pulls you in? Which one sparks your curiosity, or perhaps stirs something deeper? Your choice will open a path, not into another world, but into yourself. Let the journey begin. Door 1. The living, bioorganic door. If you chose the first door, the one that seems almost alive, glowing in shades of emerald green and organic light, surrounded by twisted, wet, vine-like structures, you are someone who walks fearlessly into the unknown. This is not a typical door. It does not suggest comfort or familiarity. Instead, it feels otherworldly, mysterious, and alive, as though it were breathing in rhythm with a deeper reality. Choosing this door reveals something profound about your psyche, something that connects you to the depths of the unconscious mind, transformation, and the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This door is rich with symbolic meaning, deeply aligned with what Jung would describe as the shadow, the hidden, often repressed part of ourselves that carries both our deepest fears and our greatest potential. But instead of running from the shadow, you are someone who intuitively walks toward it. You may not always understand why, but you're drawn to the strange, the unexplainable, the forgotten parts of the soul. You are the explorer of emotional worlds, the seeker of truth in darkness, the one who sees beauty in decay and finds wisdom in chaos. In your life, this likely means you have a high level of emotional intelligence. You are not satisfied with surface-level answers. You feel things deeply, sometimes too deeply, and that sensitivity can be both a gift and a burden. You may often find yourself sensing the moods of others, noticing shifts in energy, or picking up on unspoken truths in a room. You are intuitive, perhaps even psychic in a subtle way. And this isn't just imagination. It's your unconscious tuning in to what others ignore. People who resonate with this archetype often go through periods of intense personal transformation. You may have experienced trauma, loss, or deep inner conflict that forced you to grow in ways others cannot understand. But like the mythological phoenix, you rise again and again. Not because it's easy, but because something inside you refuses to stay asleep. You're here not just to survive, but to evolve. This door also speaks of a connection to healing. You might feel called to help others navigate their inner darkness, just as you've done for yourself. Whether you're a literal healer, like a therapist, artist, or spiritual guide, or someone who simply brings depth to your relationships, you offer a rare kind of presence. People may feel safe around you, not because you promise solutions, but because you understand pain without judgment. You hold space for the truth, especially the uncomfortable kind. But there's a warning here too. The path of emotional and spiritual depth is powerful, but it's also dangerous without grounding. If you spend too much time in the unconscious realm without returning to the light, you may feel lost, overwhelmed, or disconnected from reality. The gift of feeling deeply must be paired with the discipline of emotional boundaries and self-care. You must learn when to dive and when to rest. Your inner world is vast, creative, and filled with untapped energy. You may be drawn to esoteric knowledge, dreams, the symbolic language of archetypes, and perhaps even the occult, not for power, but for understanding. Jung believed that to become whole, we must integrate the shadow into consciousness. You are already on that path. Choosing this door means you've heard the call, and you've answered. In myth and literature, this type of door is often the gate to the underworld. Not a place of punishment, but a place of revelation. It is where the hero meets their truest self. You are that hero. You are not afraid to descend if it means rising renewed. So, who are you? You are the alchemist of emotion, the intuitive healer, the seeker of the sacred within the unknown. You do not fear transformation. You are transformation. Door 2, the ancient wooden door with the eye. If you chose the second door, the one crafted in dark, ancient wood, carved with organic vines and featuring a piercing blue eye at its center, you are someone who seeks truth, wisdom, and self-awareness above all else. This door doesn't open easily. It challenges you before you even touch the handle. It watches you, questions you, studies you. It seems alive, not in the biological sense, but in the archetypal sense. It represents the watcher, the guardian of knowledge, the inner self observing the ego. Choosing this door reveals that you are on a path of deep self-inquiry and spiritual awakening. Unlike others who seek escape, distraction, or pleasure, you are drawn to meaning, to the hidden frameworks behind reality, and to the truth beneath illusion. Jung would say that this door represents the process of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming who you truly are beyond masks and social roles. You likely have a highly developed inner world, rich in thought, reflection, and insight. You often find yourself standing back from situations, analyzing them, questioning them, asking, why? What does this mean? What is my role in this? You might journal, meditate, or simply sit in silence. For you, silence is not empty. It's filled with answers. This door suggests that your personality aligns with the sage archetype. You seek understanding, not just of the world, but of the self. You may feel older than your years, or as if you've lived many lives. There's a certain timelessness in your energy. People may come to you for advice, guidance, or simply to be heard, because they sense that you don't speak from opinion, you speak from experience. At the same time, the eye on the door reminds us of the observer within you, the part of you that never sleeps, the part that always watches, always questions, always listens. This can be a gift, but it can also feel like a burden. You may struggle to turn it off, to relax, or live in the moment. There may be a part of you that is always on guard, always aware of how things could go wrong, or how people might not be what they seem. This is your intuition, powerful, but at times exhausting. There is also a mystical aspect to your nature. The eye symbolizes not only intellect, but gnosis, inner knowing. You might be drawn to spiritual texts, hidden philosophies, symbols, myths, and ancient traditions. Perhaps you're fascinated by synchronicities, dreams, or sacred geometry. You recognize patterns that others miss. For you, everything is connected, and every event holds a deeper message. But with this insight comes a challenge: balance. The mind, when ungrounded, can isolate. Wisdom can turn into loneliness. You may find it difficult to connect with people who are not on the same frequency as you. You may feel misunderstood or, at times, detached. The key here is integration, bringing your insight into the world in a way that is practical and compassionate. Jung spoke often of the self as the center of the psyche, not the ego, but something far deeper. The eye in this door is not the eye of the world, It is the eye of the self, gazing back at you, asking, "Are you ready to truly see yourself?" Choosing this door means you are brave enough to say yes. You are someone who does not fear the truth, even if it hurts. You know that healing begins when illusion ends, and you are willing to face that mirror over and over again. So, who are you? You are the thinker and the mystic, the seeker of truth, the watcher of the soul. You do not run from what is real, you uncover it. You do not just live, you witness. Door 3, the futuristic cybernetic door. If you chose the third door, the one made of sleek metal, illuminated by electric blue veins pulsing like a nervous system, with a central mechanical eye scanning all movement, you are someone whose mind operates in a realm few can access. This door doesn't just open, it activates, as if it requires a code, a signal, or a vibration unique to you. It is a gate to something synthetic, cerebral, and ahead of its time. Choosing this door reveals that your essence is intricately connected to the intellect, innovation, and the evolution of consciousness. Unlike the others who are drawn to emotion or mystery, your pull is toward the rational, the abstract, and the future. You are driven by a need to understand systems, both external and internal. You likely see life as a network of patterns, logic, energy, and information. You process the world through a mental lens, not because you're cold or detached, but because that's where your power resides. Your mind is your engine. Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear in society, and the anima animus, the inner masculine and feminine energies that shape how we perceive and engage with the world. But there's another archetype at play here, the technomystic, the one who fuses logic with intuition, science with soul. That is you. You are not satisfied with simple explanations or sentimental truths. You want precision, progress, evolution. You are an architect of the new world. This door reflects a deep connection to technology, logic, and autonomy. You value independence and are likely someone who works best alone or in roles where your intellect is fully unleashed. You may excel in fields like coding, design, engineering, analysis, architecture, or philosophy. Even if you're not in those fields professionally, your mind works that way, building frameworks, dismantling faulty logic, and imagining what could be rather than settling for what is. But with this level of intellect often comes a sense of distance. You may feel misunderstood by those who focus only on feelings. You may struggle with small talk or emotionally shallow environments. You crave stimulation, not just socially but cognitively. Conversations that challenge your ideas, people who aren't afraid to think differently. Your friendships and relationships are built not just on affection, but on shared vision. The cybernetic eye on this door is symbolic. It does not judge, it calculates. It sees patterns, anticipates movements, and adapts. You too have this quality. You are adaptable, quick-thinking, and often a step ahead. But you also run the risk of becoming too hyper-analytical, too detached from the body, from instinct, from the primal rhythms of life. Your lesson is to integrate the machine with the heart, to allow vulnerability without losing strength, to feel without fear of inefficiency. You might also carry a deep curiosity about transhumanism, artificial intelligence, metaphysics, or how the human mind can evolve. You are fascinated by the intersection between man and machine, body and data, soul and signal. While others fear the future, you move toward it. You are not stuck in the past. You are designing the path ahead. But here's a truth. Even the most advanced system needs rest. Even the most brilliant mind needs silence. Choosing this door means you're on a journey to harmonize your intellect with your humanity. It's not about abandoning your strength, it's about expanding it. Emotion is not your enemy. Vulnerability is not your flaw. It is your missing code. So, who are you? You are the visionary and the system breaker, the coder of consciousness, the mind that races into the future to bring back wisdom for today. You don't just adapt to change, you create it. Thank you for taking this journey with us. The door you chose says more than you think. It's a reflection of your inner world, shaped by instinct, memory, and unconscious desire. Carl Jung believed symbols reveal what words cannot, and in that choice, a piece of your truth was revealed. If this experience spoke to you, we invite you to subscribe for more content that explores the deeper layers of who we are. Leave a comment sharing which door you chose and if it resonated with you. And if this video offered insight or reflection, consider giving it a like. Your support helps this community grow, where we dive into the mind, soul, and the unseen paths within us all.